So we are going to do this with the iPad because my computer completely fritzed out. So now I am definitely on target with my passive income streams so that I can get myself an iPad Pro, because I'm working with an older version of iPad and my daughter actually uses this one. So I am going to take you guys step by step through the print on demand process. We had a super successful run with print on demand. We kind of pulled out of it and are actually just now getting back into it again. But I wanted to give you a little bit lengthier tutorial on exactly how we design things. I'm going to give you a couple of pointers. First of all, you are going to want to either use Canva or the Over app. I'm going to use the Over app simply because it is what I have used in the past. And it was bought by GoDaddy, so I don't really know how much has changed, how much is the same, but I'm going to go ahead and use that today. You can use Canva and do the exact same thing, just make sure you size it correctly. They basically have very similar features. So we're going to use the Over app today. I'm going to show you how I would design something, how I'm going to set it up for photos on my Etsy store, and then how to integrate that with Printful, because it does really become a passive source of income if you create a design that people love. So I'm actually going to show you guys something that we did sell in our shop. It is a very common t-shirt design. It's a mommy and me shirt. And so it's super common, which means that you don't have a lot of competitive edge as far as pricing goes. You're going to have to price it pretty similar to everybody else. But as far as I know, it is not a copyrighted design. So it is something that you can use in your shop if you really want to. So it is just simply a mama and baby shirt. You can say mama and baby. It can say mama and baby. You can do it however you want to do that. But you're just going to start. First of all, you're going to start with a 3000 by 3000 template, and you want a transparent template. The reason I do this size is because you are going to want it to be super high quality, because you don't want fuzzy lines when it prints. You don't want to take that risk. So 3000 by 3000 is a great place to start. When you make your images for Etsy, they're going to need to be 2500 by 2500, but you're going to actually insert this onto what's called a flat lay, which you can buy flat lays from other Etsy sellers. There's a whole market out there just for that. And I'm going to recommend, when you're just starting out, go with black and white. Yes, we have the option to do all kinds of different colors, but when it comes down to it, the most popular colors are black and white. So unless you really have a very specific niche and you want to dive into a different color realm, I would stick with black and white, at least starting out, until you figure out what people are buying. So we've got the words mama typed on here. We're going to choose a different font. So I'm not used to working on iPads, so this is going to be a little different for me than I'm used to, but I'm going to do my best here to find something that I like. People with this type of shirt typically want something that is very simple, and I'm seeing now that I did this, that did not capitalize, so I need to capitalize that. Okay, so we have that. Now the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to obviously make it bigger. And so we're going to go here, and on the iPad it is way, way easier than it is when you are working on your laptop. I can tell you that for sure. Okay, we're going to go back over here to size again, and we're going to, because we're going to want to make this take up most of that 3000 by 3000 space. Okay, the next thing you're going to want to do is, let's see, I don't know what happened here. Let me go back. There we go. All right, so the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add a box around this. This is the style. Trust me on this one. So we're going to add a square that goes around this, and obviously this is a super simple design. This is not anything fancy at all, but I didn't want to spend a ton of time doing a design at all. I wanted to really be able to just show you guys the basic process. So we have that, and gonna Make sure that it is centered around the words. Okay, since we're just doing this for example, I'm not going to really spend a whole lot of time making it perfect. But now we have this, and we're going to click the OK. And once you're happy with your design, you're going to save it. You're going to save it as a PNG. So you're going to push that button, going to hit that save button, and wants to add it to my photos. Yes, you may. All right, it's saved to photos. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start another new project, transparent. And this one, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at the 2048 by 2048 square, because what we're going to now do is import an image from our computer. This is the first time I've used this. So I click that. Now this is obviously one I've used before, but I wanted to just share it with you so you guys could see what we've done. So this is a flat lay that I would have purchased from another Etsy seller. And I'm going to edit the image here. We're going to increase the size so that it fills up our space. And this one actually is not a square, so it's a little off, but it'll be fine. So as you can see, I bought a flat lay that has a mama and a baby shirt. And so then what you're going to do, once you have that background in place, then you're going to add the image that you just downloaded, which was this guy. Now, obviously, it's already on here, but for the sake of showing you guys what you do, you just are going to size it down, 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 down. And then you're going to drag it over to where you want it. You're going to hit that rotate button and rotate it to where it lines up with the center of the shirt. Make sure that the size is correct. And obviously I'm doing an overlay of another shirt right here, so it's not exact, but you can kind of get the idea. You're going to lay it on there, and I recommend when you are creating designs like this that and I'm not sure that it's actually been done on this one. This is actually a little off center now that I'm looking at it, but whenever you do it, you don't want it to look unrealistic. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to actually change the opacity of your little image that you've created to where it's not quite so harsh, so it looks more realistic when it's on the shirt, because it's not going to print in that perfect black that you see on this image. It's going to be slightly off. I mean, it just will be. So you're just going to want to do that. So that's the basic gist of it. You get it on there, and again, you're going to click OK. You're going to export the image and save it, and you can do 2 or 3 different shots with it. With this particular one, I would do the mama and baby, and then I would find sizing charts. You can purchase those on Etsy. You can also find them on Google. So we use Bella and Canvas t-shirts for all of our stuff. They're a little more expensive, but the quality is so much better. You'll get great reviews. People will talk about how soft your shirts are. It's worth the extra money, because if you're selling Bella and Canvas, you will charge a little bit more. You decide your profit margin on Etsy. You can charge as much or as little as you want to, but you have to take into consideration your cost for listing the item, for relisting the item. You have to take into consideration your Etsy seller fees, and then you also have to take into consideration what you have to pay to Printful or Printed Mint or whoever you're using for your print on demand, okay? So now that you've got this, you've saved it. I'm obviously not going to save this because I am, just playing around to show you guys. So the next thing you're going to do after you have created your image and found what you want is you're going to go over into your Etsy shop. Let me see if I've got it pulled up. Here we go. All right, so this is my Etsy shop, which is kind of funny. Since I started going viral on TikTok, not really viral, but I have a lot of views. And my store views have increased, which is funny because I haven't actually mentioned my store on there, but people are pretty smart. They find things. So I don't even have any listings in my store currently, but I am going to show you how you can add a listing and what you need to do for that. So Now, again, I am not used to working on this particular device, so you guys are going to have to bear with me just a little bit here until I can figure out. I'm going to go to view all listings. I think that's where I need to go next. And yes, and then you're going to hit add a listing. All right, we're learning the iPad as we go. Okay, so once you're in add a listing, you can see here you add a photo. You're going to go to your photo library and you are going to select that image that you created. I'm going to add that. And it's going to bring it in here. And then of course I would go in and I would add at least 3 or 4 more pictures. If I have, like the onesie by itself, if I have the t-shirt by itself, or if I'm doing it in black and white, I would show those options. But when I do a listing, I only do the listing in one color on that listing. And then I create a different listing for a different color. It gives you more listings, it gives you more visibility. And if you want to beat the algorithms on Etsy, you need to know a couple of things. One is you need to know who your competitors are, because you can go in and you can search on Etsy, you can search whatever niche you're in and find the shirts, find the mugs, find whatever it is you're selling and see who has a bestseller tag, see who has 20 plus items in their cart of an item. That means they have good SEO. And if you have good SEO, that is everything. So for instance, if I found somebody else that was selling a mama and baby shirt, I would find one that was a bestseller that had 20 plus in their cart, and I would copy their title and all that stuff. I would copy it and put it as my listing title down right here. I would paste it and copy it because there may be a couple words that you want to change in it that are more specific to you. Like if you want to include your shop name in there and they've included their shop name, obviously you don't want to include their shop name or anything that is copyrighted. You have to be really careful of that. But that is how you find good SEO, is you figure out what people are using. So I'm going to show you, so this particular photo, you can see it has a little bit of black around the edges. Remember I showed you that it wasn't perfectly square. So you can hit that crop button and you can actually go down and crop this down to where there's no black showing. And then I'm going to hit that save button. And the other thing you can do is you can go down here and you can adjust the thumbnail. So if you want to zoom in more, you can just drag this. Obviously on this, you don't want to zoom in because you want them to see both of the items. Okay. So we talked about how to find your SEO and your title and everything. You want to have, 2, 3, 4 photos on there. You want to have a sizing photo on there. I never accepted returns. There are exceptions. There will always be exceptions. But if you put that as a rule, people tend to take their time and make sure they get the right size. They use your sizing charts. So that's the basics of getting your pictures uploaded. Now they have the option to add a video. People are adding TikToks on here and it's driving people to TikTok and it's also driving sales to their site. So Etsy has done a good job of keeping up with what is trending. They do charge a lot of fees, so you just have to take that into consideration. So again, you're going to put your title here and you're going to list who made it, what it is, when did you make it, and obviously on this it's going to be made to order. And you're going to choose a category, which this is going to be women's, and it's going to give you suggestions typically. Women's t-shirts, tops, and tees. There you go. So, and you can go in and choose sizes and all of this type of stuff. So you customize the entire listing. You can choose, you can see all of this is optional, but I would fill out as much as you could. You also can add this to a section in your shop. Down here, there's sections right here. So you can see I have sections where I can add it to. You're going to put a description in here. I pretty much use the same description in every single shirt that I would sell. I would put, the first line would just be a repeat of the title. And then underneath of it, I would just put a description of what the shirt was made of. the Bella and Canvas, their cotton poly blend, what it was, all of that kind of stuff. So I would just put the details, and you can copy that detailed information from Printful and put it directly on here. Just adjust a couple of things, obviously, to make it fit your things. And then obviously this is a physical product. You can choose an automatic renewal or a manual renewal, and it's really up to you. You can set it all for manual, and after 90 days, I believe it is, it will expire and you'll have to renew it again. But honestly, if you're just getting started, you want to get a 1 or 2 listings up a day. So if you don't have a new listing for a day, you're going to relist what you've already got on there. That keeps you in the top of the search engines. So sorry if it feels like I am all over the place. I feel like I sort of am, but hopefully you guys are getting everything I've got here. So then the other thing you have to do is add a production partner. You see here I have Printify, Printed Mint, and Printful. These are my 3. This is all private, so nobody can tell who I am using for my drop shipping. I am sharing this with you. That's okay. But you just are going to pick which one that you're using. And all that appears is it's made upon order in the United States. And it says that we use a third party. So it's very common on Etsy. Used to, Etsy was all handmade by you. They've changed with the times. There's some things I love about it because drop shipping is amazing, but there's also things I dislike, which is, it takes away the personal that Etsy was. But obviously, if you're doing digital downloads, you're going to select digital, and that is going to require you to upload a file and those types of things. I'm not going to get into that with you guys today because we are talking about print on demand. So physical item, write your description, put it in a section if you want. Your tags, you're just going to basically tag, it tells you shape, color, style, function, etc. You can look at the bottom of other people's listings. So remember we talked about going in and figuring out who's a bestseller in your area, what SEO they're using. You can look at the very bottom and see some of the tags that they are using for their items, so you'll know what you're doing. So you're going to add a price and quantity. Printful, if you make something in Printful and push it directly over to Etsy, it is going to give you a quantity of 999 of every size that there is, every color that there is that you've pushed over. I create in Etsy, and then I sync each item with Printful as it is ordered. And then once every size has been ordered, then it's like totally passive unless you have customer service issues. And that is what I like about print on demand. Yes, you are not going to make as much money with print on demand as if you were printing it yourself, but I have seen people who run successful Etsy shops that make it all in their home, and it is a more than full-time job. And I would much rather pay someone else to do the printing for me, do the shipping for me, send the email saying it's been shipped with the tracking information. That takes so much work off of my shoulders that really all I have to focus on is creating. And so to me, it's a win-win. Even if you only make $5 a shirt or whatever, sell 100 shirts in a month, you make $500. Sell 1,000 shirts, you make 5,000. So you can see how even though you may not be making a ton on each item, you have more time to create. And once you find that niche that works, once you find that product that everybody loves, I can promise you it's just going to sell, sell, sell. And you just have to kind of keep an eye on your fees, especially your first month or two, making sure that you've got your item marked up enough to where you're still making at least $2 or $3. You have to, bare minimum is $2, but I would say at least make $3 to $5 per item. So you're going to put your quantity. You can add a SKU if you want to. If you use Printed Mint, they have a special SKU you need to put in there so that it automatically feeds over. Their integration isn't quite as good as Printful's, but I do love Printed Mint's packaging. It's more custom. It looks a little more professional. So I do like Printed Mint for that. They don't have quite as much variety as the other companies do though. Here's where you could add variations if you want to add different colors. If you want to allow people to personalize things, you can. I did not, because that adds an element that then makes it much less passive. So you can do that though. And if you get good at it, you can quickly add people's names or whatever to a shirt for not much time, but you will have to do some work every time an order that is personalized comes in, and you will have to not sync it with Printful on a permanent basis. Every time you put it over there, you're going to have to tell it, don't save this, because if somebody orders a shirt with the name Bob on it and the last person ordered one with the name Carla on it, then Bob's going to get a shirt with Carla on it if you've got it permanently synced. So if you're doing personalization, you have to be very careful. Shipping, Printful tells you what to charge. So you can see here, this was the last time we did shipping. They've probably increased their fees. If it's like anything else around these days, fees have gone up, but when we were shipping, it was $3.99 for t-shirts and 6 to 8 business days processing time. You just have to watch. They will give you announcements about how long things are taking. During November and December, even October, shipping does slow down, and they will give you a cutoff date and tell you all orders have to be in by this date if they want them before the holidays. So just things to keep in mind. You can also do Printful free shipping, which is what I started doing a lot, because when you do Printful free shipping, you can then increase the price of your product, but you can advertise that you have free shipping, and that also will boost you in the algorithms and help you show up on people's pages. And so a lot of times I would do that because I can then, they're still going to charge you fees on your shipping, whether it's in the price or not. So it doesn't really matter there, but it also helps you. So there's another promo that they do on Etsy that it's like I'm trying to remember now, if you add 3 items or no, it's at least so much, like dollar amount, $30 to your cart, then you get free shipping. And what happens is if you're selling a sweatshirt, and then you're having to eat the shipping, you're actually losing money. So I started switching everything over to that free shipping so that I didn't have to worry about that, because you will lose money on that and you have to take that into consideration. I'm hoping I'm showing you guys everything. Tariffs are if you're selling overseas. And then the optional item weight and all that stuff is optional because you're using Printful and you have a set fee or you're doing a free shipping. And once you're set, you can save it as a draft. So if you want to be one of these people that like creates a whole bunch of stuff and then promotes on social media and then does a dump, like, filling the store on Monday, then you're going to save everything as drafts and schedule them to be listed all on a certain day and time. If you are just trying to list every day and fill up your shop, then you hit the preview. If it looks good, then you hit publish. And you can always go back in and edit. You can deactivate it if you see that something's terribly wrong. But that's the basic gist of it for creating your Etsy listing. So now we're going to go over to Printful and I'm going to show you how to sync everything up. So we'll see if I can get logged into my Printful account. Hold on just one moment. Whoops. I accidentally went to insider.com. That was not my plan. Printful.com. And let's see what we've got here. Hopefully this is helping you guys. I hope that I am not forgetting anything. So here you can see just at the top of Printful, until July 28th, spend $150 plus and get free shipping with the code 150 free. So anybody can actually go on here and order products that they've created for themselves. Most people don't do it, but some will. So let's see. How did I sign into Printful previously? Let's see if it gives me an autofill. Of course it doesn't. Let's see if I can sign in with Google. We will try. If not, I'll have to pause this and figure out how to log in, because I have all of my passwords saved on my computer, and so using the iPad has completely thrown off this whole recording. But I promised I would get it up today, so I am getting it done. It's going very slowly. So basically you create your design, you save it as a PNG, 3000 by 3000. The next thing you do is you get a flat lay. You're going to buy a couple of those from a seller on Etsy in white and black. You can get seasonal, different things like that. Printful does offer some flat lays. They're not nearly as nice. I think it's better to get a custom one from Etsy because you are going to have way more options, and it's going to look more professional. People are going to know you're using a print-on-demand service if you use the print-on-demand services images. They do offer some, I'm going to exit out of this. They do offer some different flat lays that you can buy, but I don't use those. So. All right, so if you want to email me, there's my email. Okay, and now we're logged in, and what you can see here, you can choose the platform that you're going to sell on. And if you look down here, there are all kinds of options. You can sell on Etsy, you can sell on your own Shopify store, you can sell on Amazon, eBay, all different types of things. So you can link up however you want to. Just one moment. So you see this is want to increase your sales with Printful, reach more customers by selling on an additional platform. And so you can compare the platforms, you can add, which I'm gonna just hit that green button to add a platform, and then I can choose which one I want to add. So you can see, they even tell you the prices, like WooCommerce is a lot less expensive. Etsy is on the lower end. So really what you do is you're gonna just choose what you want. Let me see. Let me see if I can do this. Because sell on Shopify, and it says connect your Shopify store. So it's going to give you step-by-step instructions here. And it's going to do the same thing with Etsy. It says to get the Printful app for free, and that's with Shopify, you have to do that. So let me go back to Etsy and just show you what it'll say with Etsy. Again, working with this iPad has been a little bit different. So here, connect your Etsy store. So you literally will hit connect Etsy store, and it gives you a tutorial on exactly what you need to do. You have to authorize it by connecting to Etsy, and then it'll have you log in with your Etsy account, allow access to the Printful shop, and then you can assign products and upload print files. To start accepting orders, you need to upload the print files for the products you wish to process with Printful. You don't need to upload print files to all of your products, only the ones you want to actually fulfill. That's it, you're done. So I'm gonna show you guys what you're gonna do. So like I said, I create in Etsy a listing, and then I connected my shop, and then when orders would come in, I would create a product template. Does that make sense? So over here on the side, you see product templates. And I'm gonna hit create a new product, and you're going to select women's clothing. I'm just gonna show you how I would design this inside of here. And so they have all over shirts. So if you do a design that's like an all over print, this is the one you would select here. But I'm gonna just click on t-shirts. And then you can see which ones are the best sellers. And here's the unisex Bella and Canvas shirt. That is the one that we use for pretty much everything. They do have other brands out there. They have a relaxed tee. Like if your focus is only women, which a lot of the shoppers are going to be women, but you can go with a women's shirt instead of a unisex. It's kind of up to you. They have a recycled V-neck tee. They have lots of options, but for this, we're going to go with the bestseller, the Bella and Canvas. It is what we sold just about every single shirt we did on. And here's where you'll run into fun, because they always have a male model on here, which is why I don't use the Printful mock-ups, because I don't like them. So you're going to select the color white, because remember we did that mama design in black. You got to remember that if you're doing it on a black shirt, you're going to have to change all of your colors whenever you create the original design, so that you have a black version and a white version, so that when you go to lay them onto your design shirt, it's going to show up. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to choose a file. and I am going to upload photo library, and I'm going to upload this because that's what we just did. We're going to select it and place it, and there is a grid. You can barely see it on the screen, but you see that cross grid. So you can move this inside of that grid, but as soon as you go outside of it, it's not going to show up. So you have to stay inside that grid. And honestly, this is a little bit bigger than I would want, so I would resize it just a little bit. And you want to keep it, even if it doesn't look centered on here, it's telling me it is centered because of those lines. So typically I would go about there, and you can order samples if you want to, but it's completely up to you. And then the next step, once you've got it set where you want it, you're going to hit continue, and you're going to name your design, and you're going to go Mama. And you can add a color or whatever, and you can save the product template, and it's all set. And so it tells you what your prices are. So these are going to cost $12.95 for to be, to purchase and print, and then you'll have shipping on top of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and save it, even though I've already got this, I'm sure, somewhere in my shop. I'm going to go back to my Printful, and I'm going to show you when an order comes in on your dashboard, which obviously I haven't been selling, but it will show up here. And you can also earn points and get free things. This is kind of what your dashboard looks like. There's all kinds of different products in here, but when you have orders, they will show up here, and you'll get a notification if you need to if you need to sync something. So if it shows up in here, let me look at my old ones and see if I can find a notification so you guys can see what that looks like. These are way old, older notifications. So they keep you up to date very much on what is happening. I think it's going to take forever to do that. So I can't go in and actually show you what it looks like to sync an order because I don't have any orders that need to be synced. But if you get one, let me see. Let me look at my canceled orders. It'll, over here, instead of completed, it will say that it needs to be, it's saying that it's not synced. And so you're just going to click it. You're going to choose the product template that you created, which we just did, and you're going to sync it to that. You're going to choose whatever size they ordered. So, double check that. And once it's set, then it'll process, and it's out of your hands from there. They take care of the rest of it. So it's pretty simple. I'm sorry I don't have anything on here where I can actually show you what that looks like, but I mean, just to give you an idea of what the fees are, I actually did a TikTok on this, but I will show you what my stats look like. Well, I can't show you my stats right now because everything has changed on here. Let's see, costs. Ready, set. We just need a little more data to dig in. I bet I need to change. Oh, here we go. Let's change this back to custom. And we're going to go back to last year. December, October is where I'm going to show you. And we're going to go to, October 1st. And we're going to go through December 31st. And we're going to apply that. So you can see here our total sales were $5,436.17 for October, November, December. October is obviously when we started designing, and November you got into the height of the Christmas orders, and December was kind of the end. Fulfillment costs, and then here's our profits. So $1,511.69 is our profit that we made. And the great thing about Printful is it knows whenever you sync everything up what you're selling the product for on Etsy. And so it takes into consideration how much you were paid, and then it subtracts all of your fees from Printful and figures out how much you made. So that was our profit for basically 2 months. And then we kind of stopped because we were burnt out, and we went a different direction. So hopefully this helps you guys and you are able to really dig into the print on demand process. I know there's a lot to take in, but I can promise you that once you get into it, you will quickly discover that it's pretty plug and play. The most time consuming thing is designing your products. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions or need something more specific, and I will do my best to help you out.